Hi, I'm Doug McKenzie and welcome to the Regtech Show. This week's episode, we're looking into PSD2 and the effects of open banking in Central and Eastern Europe. So, to find out more, we speak with payments and regulatory specialists, Allevo, over in Romania. We also sit down with one of the largest financial groups in Central Europe, Erste Group, to find out what they've been doing with their marvellous new app, George. Firstly, our interviewees described what PSD2 and open banking has been doing since 2018.
So I think open banking is something brilliant that has happened to these industries. We have been advocating for a very long time for more transparency in banking. We have been actively promoting open source technologies for the banking industry, and everything we have developed has been based on principles of open source. So open banking in particular comes in to bring communication between players, be they peers, partners or competitors. And what banks are doing is that they build an API layer that sits on top of their existing infrastructures that enables them to talk to one another. It's one of the first steps to solve one of the core issues we have found as a recurring issue in this industry, which is the need for interoperability. Banks have added during time a lot of systems that have become slightly deprecated, legacy systems in their environments, and they are understandably reluctant to change them. So the need to pull out data and use these systems in an effective way is there. Open banking comes in to solve the top layer of this issue and just unlocking the ability to talk to these systems.
PSD2 is obviously offering us a lot of new and exciting opportunities, and we were one of the first in Europe to publish our own APIs already beginning of last year. And now we're developing the first services for our customers. So for example, we are out with multi-banking, so account aggregation here in Austria. That's something that's quite new here. We'll soon launch it in Czech Republic, where we also see a good uptake on all the open banking topic. On the other hand, we also tested and researched and prototyped and A/B tested a lot with our customers around open banking in the last year and learned a lot. And for a huge chunk of our customers, that topic of data privacy and transparency, do I really understand what's happening to my data, is incredibly important in our markets. So we do a lot to provide our customers that transparency, that they really see what is happening. For example, in Czech Republic, whenever a customer asks us to share his personal data with an external party, we offer him a sort of account statement, data statement, where they can exactly see what's happening to their data and can also decide if they still want to use this or not. So giving the power of decision on that data back to our customers is something that we find very, very important. We also promise our customers that we will never sell or actually share their data without their very explicit consent, also in aggregated form, because we want to give our customers that good feeling that with us their data is really safe. So we find the right balance between those two.
Next, we sit down with Erste Group to find out how successful their George app has been in Romania and Central Europe.
Can you tell me about your very innovative app, George?
George is the digital offering for our customers for this purpose, bringing our customers to a better financial life. So it's actually the digital companion to help our customers to more prosperity. George is already live in 4 different countries and has today more than 4 million customers. And best thing, last year for most of the months in those 4 countries, we were always rated as best app, which we are quite proud of. So George is perceived very, very well by our customers, and we even see quite a high number of customers in countries like Romania, for example, that have never used online banking before in their life, now switching to George just because it's so much easier and more convenient to use than what they saw probably earlier. And currently we're already working on introducing George to even more of our customers. In Hungary and in Croatia, we are in the middle of starting the rollout.
It's been quite some change. So initially people have been, as it happens, very reluctant with the change because they needed to update their mobile apps, the interface they were seeing on ATMs, even at the bank. So George is the new face of Erste, and people have been reluctant. The older, the more reluctant, obviously. But I think now they're at a point where it works well, and people have been trying to train themselves on how to use it. And it's useful in two ways. It's useful for the banks that it has this communication channel, a more effective communication channel with their customers that they can use to deliver more service to people. And they are now able to bring in new digital services through that channel. It's a digital financial education, if you want, by force, but I think it's to the benefit of everyone.
Excellent. And do you think it's going to increase financial inclusion, but also financial fintech uptake in Romania?
I love the fact that you asked that. So the rate of financial inclusion in Romania, I must say, is very, very low. It was reported to be around 60% in 2017 by the National Bank, but it's actually even less because there are a lot of dormant accounts. The type of accounts that your employer opens for you but you never use, you just use it to cash out. So famous examples like M-Pesa that worked wonders in Kenya, for example, have been deployed in Romania and they just failed. I think on the local market you need to find the right balance between delivering financial education to people who need financial services and making sure you have the correct business model and you make your money from those who can pay. Because we see a lot of, especially youngsters, who are using alternative banking, let's just call it that. Banks are not too happy with the great use of Revolut, for example. There needs to be a mix of education and of giving them a tool that does just what they need to do. Send money to people that work abroad, receive money from their family, do easy conversions or cash out when they need to.
Now, Romania probably isn't the first country that comes to mind when you think of new payment tech and open arms when it comes to regulation. So we found out what they've been doing to embrace this new regulation and be a part of the new open banking stipulations.
Why do you think in Romania we've seen such a demand for this skip to effectively go straight to digital banking?
George is so successful, in my perception, for three different reasons. On one hand, George is really simple and easy and convenient to use. And that's something that all of our customers want. But we also know that not all of our customers are the same, and your online banking needs are probably different than my ones are. So George offers a lot of personalization. You can make George look and feel the way you would like it to do, but you can also use George to access exactly the right service for you personally and the right products for you personally in our George store. That is one huge thing. What is also very important in our perception is how we collaborate together with our countries. And that's, in my perception, quite unique in Europe. On one hand, we have for George our George Labs team here in Vienna that is absolutely passionate about developing new functionalities for George. But we also have George people in every single country that bring in their ideas, their creativity, their knowledge of their local customers, and sometimes also a bit of local flavor, how customers would like to do things locally. So in the end, it's a great combination of a strong core with a lot of functionalities that we offer to all of our customers at the same time, but also that local edition that is sometimes really needed. The last thing that for me makes it so successful, especially in a country like Romania, where it's so new for so many people, is that actually our employees love George. We have George ambassadors in every single branch across those countries, and they teach our customers how to use it. They teach them how to use it safely, but they also talk a lot about the new functionalities and how it makes your life easier.
We're here obviously in Bucharest in Romania. Can you tell us a bit more about the Fintech financial institution ecosystem here? Are the SMEs and even the individuals being served by their institutions currently? And if not, could they do better?
So fintechs and banks, they're not in a fight, so it's not a comic book story where there's, villains and the good guys fighting against one another. But an interesting thing is that the fintechs that are active on the Romanian market are the fintechs that are active in the European Union. So any fintech that is passported to offer the services in any other countries, like, I don't know, France or Germany, can offer the same service to the Romanian market. Whereas banks that are present on the Romanian market are not all the banks available in the European Union.
We're right now in the middle of actually creating some new financial services. Possibly it's something that is going to affect very much the local market. I'm not sure if these are just ideas of reinventing completely the financial sector, but it's definitely something that the Romanian market hasn't seen so far. So we're working right now on extending the financial services that the banks are delivering to the companies, to their clients, in ways that would actually replace possibly some of their old and existing technology, so that they don't need to actually, the companies, I mean, won't actually need to have new products installed on premise, but they'll just be able to have financial functionalities as a service from the banks.
I think these raises the competition bar quite high and asks banks to look for what is it that these fintechs offer and that is really perceived as valuable by customers, and should we partner with some of them to offer these services to our customers, or do we just choose to implement them ourselves and deliver them on our own? But it's nice that now, with the power of example, you see what can be done. And as I said before, I'm really looking forward to see how banks will take a more relevant role in this open banking enabled space, where they have the ability to act just like a fintech and start aggregating that data on behalf of their customers, putting it together, doing data analysis, financial predictions, offering even automated financing solutions to their customers. We are still facing frictions when it comes to the bank-customer relationship.
Finally, we ask our interviewees about their plans for 2019 and beyond. So moving a bit away from mobile banking, can you tell us what Erste Bank have been working on in terms of improving the lives of your customers already?
I love that question, because there's a lot of people that think that innovation is only happening in the digital space. I think that's not going to be successful, because we today know that more than 80% of our customers still very clearly say that they want to be able to use all kinds of different services and contact methods with their bank. They love doing things in George, but they also want to have the opportunity and also use it to speak to someone physically and personally. So we are innovating, obviously, not only our digital offering, but also how we communicate with our customers, how branches look like, what kind of functionalities we offer to our customers there as well. So we are rolling out completely differently looking branches at the moment. They've got nothing to do with as people thought a banking branch would look like at the moment. But for example, we also offer our customers in those branches not just a physical contact with a person there, but also with a specialist via remote advice, or offer that as home as well.
Now that's very interesting. Do you think we're going to start seeing more digital channels actually be implemented within a branch and maintain the branch's importance in the town centre?
I personally believe that all these things will merge in the future. So digital will move more and more into being able to really give advice, but at the same time probably also from the app immediately offers to dial in someone who is able to answer more difficult questions. And at the same time, we will obviously use digital also to optimize the experience our customers have in the branches. Let me give you another example. In our bank in Slovakia, we introduced advisory processes on a tablet already a year and a half ago very successfully. So there actually the customer sits with a tablet in his hand and types in some of the data, answers some of the questions, and gets immediately a real-time calculator with predictive analytics behind real good suggestion directly on the tablet. But the advisor can help guide through the process, give additional information.
It sounds like it's going to be very exciting in the future for SMEs and the individual. I mean, how can Allevo really help get to that point?
What we are looking now is to explore this step that goes beyond PSD2 compliance. As part of our innovation process, we explore opportunities, turn them into prototypes, show them to customers, get their feedback, tweak them, and then turn them into products. And two such recent examples of products emerged from this innovation pipeline have been an instant payments solution and the PSD2 compliance solutions that we showed around to financial institutions. What we are now looking at is to build a solution that enables a bank to take on the role of the aggregator, and that allows them to offer financial services as a service to their customers. Now, this can be very neatly done as part of their existing interfaces with their individual or corporate customers. If you are an SME and you use your regular internet banking interface to do banking, to do your daily operations, you can find there various new features that help you do more reporting, more data analysis, more insights, predictions, cash pooling, showing in one interface what happens with the accounts of that you own at other banks, managing your suppliers, managing your invoices. All of that is basically as if I, as an SME, I am outsourcing all of this to the bank. I'm still the one taking decisions on what happens, what is being paid, when, from where, what currency, but the bank manages all that. So it's the outsourcing of an entire financial department in the hands of a bank who's fully capable to do that for me, because they do that already. They're just not presenting it in a convenient way and to allow me to interact with them and tell them what I want them to do for me.
And now, why is that? Is it a culture of, as you said, legacy solutions, or do you think it's something a bit more embedded into an institution's lifeline?
I think it's a bit of both. Legacy is definitely one of the stoppers, because whenever an idea of a service that can be delivered to customers is analyzed from the perspective of do we do this project or not, do we budget it? It turns out, okay, but how do we make this work? We need to talk to this system, this database, this other system, the headquarters here, the servers on the cloud, on-prem, So it's a matter of having this system interconnected together in a way that allows you to build a flow, right? That goes from one end to the other. Because these business flows have been developed over time in a one-by-one fashion, it's difficult to just plug and play something new or to build it. You have to do hands-on development, and you have to make sure you find the right endpoints to connect to.
Thanks for watching us on this episode of the Regtech Show. Make sure to catch our other shows on www.fintech.finance. See you then.